Hi, and welcome back to the mini farm. Today, I'm going to show you how to make the easiest 4-ingredient flour tortillas. These are so yummy, and they're so quick, easy, and cheap to make, you won't want to buy them at the store again. So if you want to see how to make these very yummy, easy tortillas, then just keep watching. But first, if you like videos like this, please give it a thumbs up, and click the subscribe button below if you haven't done so already. If it's already gray, thank you so much for being here. I really enjoy having you here, and I love our chats in the comment section. Without further ado, here's how to make super easy 4-ingredient tortillas. For this recipe, you're going to need flour, salt, a fat that's solid at room temperature. This is bacon fat. It's actually pork belly fat, but I love using bacon fat in this recipe. You can also use coconut oil or any kind of lard that's solid at room temperature, and then some water. Start by having your flour in a bowl, and then I'm going to add the salt, sprinkle that in evenly. Then with a fork, kind of whisk the flour and salt together. And then we're gonna start adding in our fat. This is basically like making pastry initially. So cut in the fat. Just kind of smush it down with your fork. Okay, you want it to look like coarse sand after you finish cutting in the fat, so pick it up and kind of put it in your hands. It's going to hold its shape a little bit. Now we're going to start cutting in the water, 1 tablespoon at a time, until we get a nice firm dough. Now with pie crust, this is kind of the way that you do it too, with cold fat and stuff, but here we want to work the gluten, and with pie crust you kind of don't. But for this, we want to work the gluten because you want to have a nice pullback on the bread, and you want it to be pliable when you roll it. So we definitely are trying to build that up in here, so you can work it as much as you want. Just keep cutting it in and cutting it in until you get a nice firm dough. At some point, we are going to have to go in there with our hands, but for now, we're just going to keep using this fork because it's very convenient.
It's what you're doing, it's making me feel like I'm falling. And when you're moving, I can hear my calling. There's no one else here that I see but you. It's what you're doing, it's making me feel like I'm falling. Yeah, I'm falling in love. You set my wheels in motion. I'm going crazy for you. I feel like the ocean.
Okay, this is what it looks like now. I'm going to let it rest for about 20 minutes in a plastic baggie. I'm going to turn it into kind of a disc and just put it in a little Ziploc and let it rest.
I only want you. I wanna kiss you before the sun goes down. It's what you're doing, it's making me feel like I'm falling. And when you're moving, I can hear my calling. There's no one else here that I see but you. It's what you're doing, it's making me feel like I'm falling. Yeah, I'm falling in love.
Now that you've let it rest for 20 minutes, let's take it out of the bag, and then we're going to cut it into 4 equal pieces. This makes 4 tortillas, and then shape it into a ball and flatten that ball into a disc. Using a rolling pin, start in the middle of the disc and push out, then go back to the middle of the disc and pull towards you. Give the dough a quarter turn and do it again on each side. So basically you're just trying to push out from the middle all the way up to the edges, and keep going until you get a circle about the size of your hand or 8 inches.
There's no one else here that I see but you. It's what you're doing that's making me feel like I'm falling. Yeah, I'm falling in love. Yeah, I'm falling in love. I hoped we were gonna make it. He promised we would find the time.
Okay, when you get to about 8 inches and almost can see your hand through it, that's how you know it's done. Spray your plate and then spray the tortilla.
Time would take us to a place where love could grow, but in a different way. Bigger than they'd say. Now looking at you keep me going back to those days, capable of keeping track of how many nights could pass. Cheap hotels and driving fast, and the radio playing our soundtrack. Broken love, tequila and bluegrass. Evenings just like movie scenes along the roads in Tennessee. Dreaming of what we could be from the back of your dad's red truck. No one thought I was gonna make it. No one believed I'd take the time for realizing.
To cook these up, we want to heat up a cast iron skillet or your favorite skillet that you have at home, just something that's nice and heavy duty. Non-stick would work here too. I love using a seasoned cast iron skillet for this though, it works perfect. And then put it in there until the outsides kind of get a little dry and bubbly. When you see that happening, it's time to check the bottom. Once you have a little bit of browning on the bottom, you can flip it. So just do a little check before you flip it, and then go ahead and flip it over. You don't want to over toast it. It makes it less pliable, so you want to be able to roll it later. You want to just make sure that you don't overcook it just until it slightly gets brown, and then you can put all your fillings and stuff in there and roll it up. If you overcook it, it kind of crunches and breaks apart on you. When they're nice and brown like this on both sides, go ahead and put it on a clean plate and repeat. You don't even need to spray anything down because we already sprayed both sides of the tortillas as we were putting them in. So you can just put them right in the pan and keep going. If you want your tortillas to look a little bit more round than rustic like mine do, you just make sure that you roll the ball out, the triangle that we had earlier. Make sure you roll it out into a ball as much as you can and then flatten it out into a disc. The more uniformly you roll it out the first time before you even put the rolling pin on it, the less kind of triangle-ish shape you're gonna get. So here's a good example. This is the very first one I made. I made sure I rolled it out into a ball as evenly as possible before I flattened it out into a disc and rolled it out, so you can see that it's much more round and uniform in shape than the other ones were, where I didn't take as much time to make sure that they are completely round into a ball first. I prefer the rustic tortillas. I feel like they look more homemade and authentic this way, but you can do whatever you prefer.
When we were younger, we used to sit on the grass among the flowers. We just let the days pass by. People would tell us to get a grip of ourselves and get a job.
This is what they should look like when you're completely done with them. They should be very pliable. You can roll them easily without having them crack or break. And they're sturdy enough to hold all your taco fillings without falling apart. Thank you so much for cooking with me today. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't done so already, you can click on my face to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye!